Today, the Portland Trail Blazers signed Carmelo Anthony, and this has been a long time coming. Now this is going to be a full breakdown of the Carmelo Anthony signing with the Portland Trail Blazers from a Blazers fan. I'm going to go into the backstory of why Carmelo to Portland has been a long time coming. I'm going to look at his potential fit with the team, and I'm going to look at a couple other interesting storylines as well, so make sure to stick around for the entire video. Leave a like down below, it really helps me out, and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and also considering using SeatGeek with the promo code BlazersUprise, as that'll save you 20 bucks off your first purchase. Now, to set up this Carmelo Anthony video, I think I have to admit that I wasn't a fan of this signing before the season. I wasn't a fan of this signing a week or two into the season, but 2 days ago, out of frustration, I tweeted out that I was finally in support of a Carmelo Anthony to Portland move. And funnily enough, now we're here. And since I just shouted out the Twitter, you can follow me at ToryJonesYT. Portland's pursuit of Carmelo started 2 years ago when he was on the New York Knicks, when he was still a hot commodity around the league, when he was still viewed as a 20-point per game scorer. Now Carmelo had a no-trade clause and he wanted to go to the Houston Rockets, but eventually he opened up that no-trade clause to allow himself to go to the Oklahoma City Thunder. He didn't want to go to the Portland Trail Blazers. His one-year stint in Oklahoma City didn't work out, and then he was finally able to force his way to the Houston Rockets. After a poor early season start for the Rockets in 2018, they ended up deciding to not have Carmelo play anymore. They eventually traded him to the Chicago Bulls. He never played there, and he was on his way out of the league. That is until today, when the Portland Trail Blazers, after a tough 4-8 start, have signed Carmelo Anthony. Everything has come full circle with Carmelo to Portland. After initially turning them down, Carmelo has finally found his way to the Portland Trail Blazers. The circumstances are a lot different. He probably would have signed with any team that wanted his services, but Portland is actually a perfect fit for him right now. Portland doesn't have much depth at the power forward position, and they lost their starting power forward in Zach Collins until March. Since then, they've had a power forward rotation including guys like Anthony Tolliver, Mario Hezonja, and rookie Nasir Little. For a team trying to make the playoffs and trying to tread water until it can get healthier, those guys just aren't getting it done, and they're a big reason why Portland is in a 4-8 hole to start the season. So enter Carmelo Anthony, who at this point is probably a better option for the Blazers than all three of those players. Now, Carmelo isn't a good player at this point in his career. He's a non-factor on the defensive end. He doesn't move the ball, but he can knock down shots, and Portland has had zero shot making from that position since Zach Collins went down. Anthony Tolliver was brought in to be a hypothetical 3-and-D option in case of emergency. He's shooting 24% from 3. Mario Hezonja, who Blazers fans were high on entering this year, is only shooting 32% from the field and 32% from 3. The 25th overall pick in last year's draft, Nasir Little, has started to see some time, but he's only shooting 32% from the field and 17% from 3. It's safe to say Portland has zero shot making at that position, so Carmelo will be an instant upgrade in that regard. Now, Hezonja and Nasir Little are better defensively than Carmelo, but neither have really been in a playmaking position as well. They haven't been creating plays for others, and Portland's offense has the tendency to get stagnant, and it oftentimes needs players to create out of isolation, to create one-on-one. Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, and even Anthony Simons are good in that regard, but they kind of needed another player that could hit spot-up shots and then create offense when the system bogs down. So in that regard, Carmelo Anthony is a fit. Portland was also smart and signed him to a non-guaranteed deal, so if Carmelo doesn't work out, if he's really that washed up, then Portland can cut their losses and maybe add a different player at that spot and not owe Carmelo Anthony any more money long term. And frankly, there's a good chance that this doesn't work out, but Portland's season right now isn't working out anyway, so I don't see the risk in making a move like this. Maybe Carmelo can help the team, considering the guys he's replacing. Or maybe the team continues to play like they are and they cut their losses. Basically, it's a no risk, low to medium reward chance. But I also love this move for the storyline. My channel is going to make more money because of this. And that might seem like a joke, but I went live about 10 minutes after the news of Carmelo signing with Portland broke, and that live stream popped off. So from a YouTuber standpoint, I really love this move. It gives me interesting content to make. It gives me another storyline to follow. This is going to be entertaining even if the Blazers keep losing. I'll actually have more fun watching Carmelo Anthony play than a guy like Hezonja or Anthony Tolliver. Now, I do like watching Nasir Little play, and I hope he remains in the rotation, but it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out, and it gives Portland fans an entertainment factor that it was lacking. Now, in terms of starting Carmelo Anthony or bringing him off the bench, I would bring Carmelo off the bench and I'd start rookie Nasir Little. Now, that is just for defensive reasons. Nasir Little is a better defender than Carmelo Anthony, and I think starting Little would give him some confidence to maybe improve offensively. He's a guy who brings some energy and some hustle, and having that in with the starting lineup, that can help the starters start the game with more of a spark than they've had in the past. Meanwhile, the second unit has a tendency to become stagnant, and oftentimes they're relying on a 20-year-old second-year player in Anthony Simons to bail out their offense when they can't get a shot. Now, Anthony has played great. He's broken out a bit in his second season, but when he's the only guy on the bench unit that can consistently create a shot, it's a problem. We've seen this hurt the Portland Trail Blazers so far this season, so having a second guy on that bench unit that can create a shot, that can go one-on-one in isolation and get buckets is very important for that unit in my opinion. So I think Nasir Little still makes sense as the power forward starter with the Blazers, and I think Carmelo would help out that bench unit mightily. Carmelo might finish games with the Portland Trail Blazers. If he's hot for a night, if he's knocking down shots, then he might be in to close the game. Or if he's struggling and Portland needs a defender in there, they should roll with Nasir Little to finish games. Either way, I like the contrast between Nasir Little and Carmelo Anthony. Little is an energetic guy who can rebound, provide hustle, provide energy, provide a spark for the team. And Carmelo is the guy who can knock down shots and provide some offense. Overall, Portland just needs to tread water until it gets healthier and until it gets an easier schedule. I think they needed an offensive wild card that can get hot and maybe provide the spark needed to win Portland some close games. Portland has lost a lot of close games to start this season, and a consistent factor in those games is Anthony Tolliver not playing well, it's Hezonja not playing well. Having a bit of a wild card who has a chance to have a good game, has a chance to drop 20, has a chance to help out that offense, would have swung a couple of these games. And if Melo plays bad, as I said at the beginning of this video, they're already losing anyway. I think this move should have maybe actually came a little bit earlier. I think Portland needed to use that 15th roster spot earlier this season, whether it was for a guy like a Kenneth Faried or a Jonas Jerebko or a Carmelo Anthony. But I'm glad they made this move before this upcoming road trip. Portland plays Saturday, which is 2 days from now. They play in San Antonio, and I don't know if Carmelo is going to play, but what's interesting is the game after that comes in Houston, which was Carmelo's last stop. So everything comes full circle, with Melo going to Portland when he turned them down 2 years ago. And what's funny is that 2 years ago when I was starting to do YouTube, I made a video about how Melo should decide to waive his no-trade clause to go to the Portland Trail Blazers. And I thought that was a great video. Now, honestly, it was trash. It was filmed with a $5 webcam and a $5 microphone. The quality was trash, and I was not good at this YouTube thing. My presentation was pretty garbage. And now it's just funny how I got my own Blazers YouTube channel. So in a way, this comes full circle for me too. Now, there's also a couple other interesting things with this move. First, Portland has 3 future Hall of Famers on this roster. They got Pau Gasol, they got Carmelo Anthony, and they got Damian Lillard. And if you don't think Damian Lillard is a future Hall of Famer, then I think you're tripping. If there's anybody who's watching this video who doesn't think that Damian Lillard is a future Hall of Famer, then he throws flames. Anyway, getting sidetracked. If there's anybody who doesn't think Dame is a future Hall of Famer, please leave your comment down below and trying to explain why. That dude's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Pau Gasol is going to be in the Hall of Fame. Carmelo Anthony is going to be in the Hall of Fame. So from a Blazer fan, it's just cool to have 3 future Hall of Famers on the roster. And then the other thing is it's going to be interesting to see what number Carmelo Anthony wears, because Carmelo Anthony has been a fan of wearing the number 7 previously in his career. And why that's interesting is Brandon Roy wore the number 7, and nobody has worn the number 7 since then. I believe Kobe Carl wore the number 7 for a preseason run, but everybody knew he wasn't going to make the team, and there was still some outcry over that. Now, Portland has never retired Brandon Roy's number, so it'll be interesting to see if Carmelo wears the number 7, or if he avoids it. Maybe it comes down from the Blazers brass saying that he probably shouldn't wear the number 7 because that is Brandon Roy's number, and it'd definitely be a little weird to see somebody wearing the number 7. I think the number 7 should be retired, but that is a pretty hot topic among Blazer fans, so it'll be interesting to see what number Carmelo rolls with. It might have already been announced announced what number Carmelo is wearing, but I haven't seen it so far, and this opens up a whole nother can of worms as to whether or not Brandon Roy's number should be retired. I think it should be retired, but some Blazer fans disagree with me. Let me know if you think Brandon Roy's number 7 should be retired in the comment section below, and let me know if you think Carmelo should wear the number 7 or wear a different number. I think the number 15 is retired as well, and that's the 2 numbers that Carmelo has worn throughout his career, so Carmelo might have to roll with a completely new number. We'll have to wait and see on that one. So anyway, let me know what you think about the Blazers signing Carmelo Anthony. Leave your comments down in the comment section below. Also leave a like on this video, it really helps me out, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. With that being said, I'm out of here. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Tori as always. Peace out. Go Blazers.